Great. So, good evening once again, everybody. So, we're back with yet another very, very interesting topic. Um, Three letters, which literally hold the power, to either make your business or break your business. It basically, turns like this endless cycle of fixes and frustrations, and what ERP basically brings along with it. And we've heard like multiple ERP horror stories, so right from budgets going way over what was actually planned to customizations, which tend to cause more problems than actually solving anything, teams struggling with systems which ideally should have been making their work a lot more faster and simpler, but just leading to a lot of complexities. So ERP success is not entirely about luck. I mean, surely we all know that it's all about having the right plan and the right strategy. So a solid strategy is what basically makes all the difference. And that's what will indicate whether the ERP will work for you or it will slow down your business entirely. So there are multiple ERP options out in the market, and choosing the right one is definitely overwhelming. So the focus that has to be is first of all on, of course, choosing the ERP that suits your business. Also, getting your team involved in early. There has to be a lot of clear communication with your team. It's also about money, whether what your budgets are like, and how much you're willing to invest in that particular ERP for your business workflows and your processes. Also, the rollouts of the ERP, so whether you have a phased thing in mind, or how you're basically going to track the entire ERP implementation is basically what you need to think about. Now, this workshop is basically all about why it is so essential to have an ERP implementation phase process, and we have this proven framework that our tech expert is going to basically showcase the same. So she is basically an experienced ERP expert at Pragmatic. She has helped multiple clients of ours implement ERP smoothly. And her name is Vandana Bariya, and she is going to basically be portraying a lot of case studies and everything that she will basically be narrating, and she will give practical, real insights along with the actual strategy that one should follow in order to have a smooth business process. So, Vandana, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Arva. Hey everyone, I'm so glad to have you all here today. If you have ever been a part of ERP project, you know it can be a roller coaster. One day everything is on track, and next day you are stuck with endless customizations and delayed in go lives. But with the right approach, an ERP project doesn't have to be struggle. It can be smooth, well planned journey that leads to success, not frustrations. And that's exactly what we are here to talk about today. How to get your ERP implementation right from the first time with a proven framework. Let's dive in. Okay, so let me ask you one question. What do you think a bad ERP implementation cost? Most of the people think it's just a money, but it's much more than that. It's sleepless nights, missed opportunities, and frustrations when things doesn't go as per the plan. So, in next slide, here is the uh, tricky part. Most ERP failures aren't about just a technology itself or a lack of skilled people. The real issue is that the implementation doesn't follow a well structured plan from the very beginning. Without clear steps, things can quickly spiral into delays, confusions, and unexpected cost. But when you have a solid framework in a place, everything runs smoother, team stays aligned, and challenges are tackled early. And the ERP system actually delivers the growth. So in the next slide, the thing here is building on the top of the ERP system is like constructing a house. You can build it smart, or you can build it with a solid foundation and the right blueprint. Or else the other thing is you can build it, tear it down, and rebuild it until you stuck into the expensive loop of fixes and regrets. The goal here is to avoid that loop. We are going to break down how to keep the things simple, effective, and maintainable. I will show you how to solve the real business problems without breaking your ERP system. So let's first discuss the 5 hidden ERP pitfalls. Over the years, I have been seeing project falls into the same traps again and again, and let me share you a quick story. I worked with a company that was so excited to implement an ERP that they were overboard on a customization. Every department wanted its own special workflow, and what happened next? Delayed in go lives, blown budget, and system that become too complex to maintain. They are not alone. Let me share you the top pitfalls which I have seen in my experience. First is endless customization, which drains your budget. And the second is the team resistant change because the new system feels too complex to use. Deadlines getting mixed and then pushed further and further. For this, the data migration turns into the nightmares when it could have been a dream of. And the worst of all, lack of user adoption. Now, here, the important thing this problem can be avoided. All you need is a right framework and a strategy that aligns you with the business goals. In the next slide, we can see the need for a proven ERP framework. This is where having a framework makes all difference. Think of it as a roadmap. It gives you the clear path, reduces uncertainty, and help you to avoid the costly workarounds. When your ERP aligns with your business goals, you reduce risk, control cost, and ensure the smooth adoption without disturbing your day-to-day operation. Sounds like a dream, and it's possible. So let's discuss like what is Odoo and the perfect ERP for your business. Now, let's talk about the ERP solution that makes the framework work. That's Odoo. Here, why Odoo stands out. It's modular. You can start from the small and then grow it as your business grows. And it's all in one system like CRM, sales, accounting, inventory, HR. You name it, it's there in Odoo. It's open source, which means no large license fees, and it's fully customizable. And the best part, it's easy to use and integrate well with the third party systems. So at Pragmatic Techsoft, we spent the last 16 years perfecting Odoo implementation. We have seen what works, what doesn't, and how to turn even the most complex business requirement into the seamless solutions. So the next is the 6 steps to ERP success. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, how do we put all of this into the action? The answer is we follow the structured approach. We call it as a 6 phase to ERP success. This roadmap ensures you to building your right ERP from the start. So we will discuss all the 6 steps one by one in each and every slide. So the first is planning and discovery. In this space, we define business goals, identify pain points, and build a solid project scope and timeline. It's all about laying the foundation right. We had a client who switched to us after working with another company for a month, and unfortunately, the previous company had no clear plan in place, like no defined scope, no proper timelines, and no understandings of the client in the real needs. As a result, the project was stuck and progress was slow. When we took over, the first thing we did was a structured planning and discovery phase. We sat down with the client, identified their key pain points, and set a clear goals and mapped out a well-defined implementation strategy. This approach not only got the project back to on the track but also saved time, reduced unnecessary revisions, and ensured a much smoother implementation and proper planning right from the start. Yes. So after planning, it's for a time for a second phase that can be a use case. So one of the most important thing we do before diving into the ERP implementation is to create a use case document. Think of it as a bridge between what a business actually needs and how ERP system is going to function in the real world. Basically, it lays out a different scenarios, how teams will use the system, what their workflows will look like, and any special cases or exceptions can be needed to plan for. This helps to avoid confusions and make sure you all are on the same page before any development starts. By focusing on the real use case, we can catch a potential issue earlier, fine tune the setup, make sure the system is user friendly as possible, and it also helps to set the clear expectations so there are no surprises later on. Now, getting a customer approval on the document is a big deal. It's like signing off a blueprint before building a house. If we skip this step, we risk misalignment, last minute changes, and unnecessary delays. Once the document is approved, it becomes our go to guide for everything like development, testing, deployment, and it keeps everyone on the same page, reduces the rework, and makes sure the whole process way smoother. Now, take a look on the slide which is available. It shows a use case document we put together for one of our client. They wanted to integrate Odoo chat box and meeting scheduler in their existing website to automatically generate a CRM lead. On the top of that, they needed to pull leads from the different platforms to streamline their sales process. After several discussion and refinements, we outlined exact customization they needed, ensuring everything is aligned with their business goals. Once they approved the plan, we had a clear roadmap to move forward, making sure everyone was on the same page before the development begins. So, after the use case document is been approved by the client, it's time for the development. So in next phase we can discuss related to development. In the development phase, we shape the ERP system to fit the business needs, making sure the configuration align with the daily operations. Some customization is necessary, but too much can cause problems like higher cost, tricky maintenance, and future upgrade challenges. That's why we focus on a smart, flexible solution instead of hard fixed code that might not work around. So, and important is communication. Communication is a key here. Developers and functional consultant needs to stay in sync to ensure everything is built with the right way. We also involve the clients with the weekly demos and review sessions. This way they can see the progress, give feedback, and we can make adjustment before the things get too far or too far along. The goal here is to work together, avoid the last minute surprises, and make sure the system is set up for a long term success before we move into the next step. I would like to share one example here. We had a client who wanted to customize their ERP system extensively, but hadn't properly defined their requirements. Their previous vendor jumped straight into the development without validating the scope, which led to the constant changes, delays, and a system that didn't function as expected. When we took over, we followed a structural development approach. We started with a small iteration, held a regular review sessions with the client, and ensured that each module was tested and approved before moving forward. This is not only reduced the rework but also kept the client involved throughout the process, ensuring that the final system met their exact needs without unnecessary delays. This highlights how well planned development phase can prevent confusions and ensure the successful implementation. Once the development is done, it's time for the testing. So in the testing phase, we can say before an ERP system goes live, thorough testing is an absolutely must. Skipping or even rushing to this step can lead to the major headaches later, like system crashes, a data mismatch, and frustrated users struggling with unexpected issues. That's why we take a structured approach, running different types of tests to make sure everything works smoothly. We start with unit testing, where we check the individual component, then moves to integration testing to ensure the different modules communicate properly. And finally, we conduct a user acceptance testing, that is UAT, where a real business scenarios are tested to confirm that the system meets the actual need. One of the biggest mistake is the ERP project is not tested enough which can lead to major issues after go live. To avoid this, we create a detailed test case document that covers all the functionalities, workflows, and potential edge cases. This document is then reviewed and approved by the customer to ensure everything is accounted for the before moving forward. For example, if you look at the test case, it available in the slide. It covers the CRM lead generation process, includes how leads are captured from the different forms and verified. The customer has already reviewed it and verified it and confirmed that it meets the requirement, ensuring that there are no surprises later. But testing alone is not enough. Proper training is just as important. Even the best system won't work if the user don't know how to use it. That's why we focus on hands-on training to ensure a smooth transition and successful adoption. After training, it's time for a go live. The next phase is a go live phase. Go live isn't it the end, it's just a start. Rolling out an ERP is a big step, but the real challenge is to make sure the people actually use it effectively. We can go live we can go live in phases at all once depending on what makes best. The key is monitoring, gathering feedbacks, and making adjustment. If the user doesn't understand the system, then they will struggle and resist change. That's why proper training is critical, like hands-on sessions or a clear guides, ongoing support. ERP success is not just about launch a day, it's about continuously learning and improvements to keep the system growing with the business. We had a client who was excited to go live with their new ERP system, but the team wasn't fully trained. They wanted to launch everything at once and thinking they have figure it out the things out as they go, and the result is the confused employed, delayed operations, and a flood of support ticket on the day one itself. To fix this, we rolled out back and took phased approach. We first launched with a small team, monitored real-time issues, provided hands-on training. Once they were comfortable, we expanded to the rest of the organization, and this way, when they are fully trained, everything ran smoothly, and user felt confident using the system from day one. This shows how the proper planning, training, and phased rollout can make all the differences in a successful go live. After go live, it's time for a closure. So the last phase is closure. From mapping the right workflow to building the system, testing, training, and finally go live, each phase is a critical step on your journey to ERP success. But it's not just about following the steps. It's about continuously learning, adapting, and improving. That's what phase 6 closure is all about. Success doesn't stop at go live. It's a journey. We are well here at every step with you. And after the closure, we can have some of the key takeaways. So, in the next slide, we have a key takeaways. In the key takeaway, before we wrap up, here is what I wanted you to remember. Like ERP is not about features; it's about solving the real business problems. It keeps We can keep it simple and don't over customize the unless it is truly necessary. Test everything, share responsibility between the developers and the users, invest in your user training and ongoing support. It's the key for a long-term success. And most importantly, every decision should be guided by one question: does this add real value to the business? If doesn't, rethink. Next, we can have a call to actions. If you have a ERP, isn't it delivering the result you expected? It's time to rethink for your strategies. We are here to help you to turn out those challenges into opportunities. Next, in the next slide, we can have the challenges if you are facing, and if you don't let your investment go waste. If you have any of the questions, or if you want to explore how we can help you with the ERP journey, then let's talk it out. Thank you all for being such a great audience. Looking forward to keep the conversation going on and helping you to make most of your ERPs. Yes, thanks, Arwa.
Yes, great. Thank you so much, Vandana. Am I audible?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great. Thank you. So thanks a lot, Vandana. I'm sure this was really insightful. The detailed strategy was something that I think everybody needs to follow so that, they don't, make a failure sort of a scenario, that should not crop up. But definitely, is there anything that, any kind of question that's popping in anybody's mind or anything that anybody would like to discuss? Vandana is here and she can definitely guide. She can definitely, give some solutions to the same. So any questions, please either pop it in the chat box or you can just unmute, you can ask. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I believe there are no questions. So what we can do is we'll just sort of wrap it up and would like if there's anybody who wants to get in touch with us, you can definitely just get in touch on this link. I'm just sharing across. Yep, that's there. So in case of any queries, if anybody has any, maybe later on, if any kind of a confusion pops up or just want to have a chat with our experts at Pragmatic, please just get in touch with us via this link. And in the meanwhile, thank you so much for being a patient audience. And thanks again, Vandana, for the expert information. I'm sure it definitely helped
It was
one and all.
great.
Great. Thank you so much once again. Okay. See ya. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. Have a great
Bye.
day.
You too. Bye bye.